heading towards the top side, and the Renekton's going to come in for Dudu. So crocodiles versus monkeys in, you know, the animal kingdom. I think we know who wins that matchup. In Runeterra, yes, it goes the other way. When it's Nuguri versus Dudu. I guess it goes down a different, an extra level, because I think Renekton does do okay into the Wukong, but I don't know whether Dudu does okay into Nuguri.
True. I think Nuguri will be just fine. We'll have to see how he does do. I mean, you take a look at Hanwha Life's comp, and their source of magic damage is Karma, which is, you know, I mean, it's got a little bit of burst, but you're not really going to be too affected by that until maybe the later stages of the game if he decides to go for a very heavy AP build. But with Viper on Aphelios, I wouldn't assume that. I think he's going to be going very supportive. They're going to be lacking magic damage. I think that DWG really just, I don't know, I don't want to call it already, but their draft looks a lot better coming into this first game, Atlas.
Yeah, it certainly does. And we have to remember that a lot of our teams have figured out the Aphelios, right? And this composition that you see right here, guys, if you want a little bit of a lesson on how to deal with Aphelios, there are a few different ways you can do it. DWG have decided that they're going to do both of a couple of different ways that you can do it. Yeah. One of them is poke him out from extra range so that he's not going to be able to do anything. And the other is dive him. And Pantheon Wukong, pretty damn good at diving the backline. That is something that they should be able to get done. They ban away the Thresh, so that repositioning is not going to be an option or an opportunity. And so Viper is going to be sort of stuck on his own. However, he does have Stand United, he does have the Inspire Shield, and potentially there is a Lee Sin to help peel for him. But I'm only saying that because I have to, you know? I feel like I'm reading them their rights here, and I sort of have to say it.
That's what we pay you for. That's what you gotta say.
Yep. I've got on my little screen right here, our producer's just written "Nevermind ×2," and so I don't know what she said beforehand because I wasn't paying attention. But there is a pause on our screen right here. It looks like lava may have melted his computer.
I like the gloves and the mask, very on theme with the Shen that they did pick up.
Yeah, that's what he's wearing. 100%.
Yeah. So Lava didn't finish his settings correctly.
Ooh,
so
and they're going to take a penalty for that one as well. We saw this, I believe it was earlier in the week. I can't remember what the penalty actually is, but it's not like bans in the next game or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's a different one.
It's like if you get a couple of penalties, you get like a warning, and then if that happens, you might lose an indicator point.
You can lose a point, like a game point. And that's actually gigantic for the standings, right? That could mean playoffs or not playoffs, especially with how close some of our teams are. Yeah. I do want to talk about the standings just a little bit. We will get back into this game as soon as the pause is over. But I want to discuss what's going to happen in our second match tonight. Firstly, we're going to have Yamato Cannon. He should be here.
Yeah.
And secondly, you may have watched yesterday, T1 were able to get that surprise 2-0 over Gen G, especially after 40 minutes into the first game that Gen G looked like they had it in the bag. T1 were eventually able to get that 2-0. That put T1 in third place, Gen G in fourth. Or, well, I guess they're tied theoretically, but head-to-head now belongs to T1. But if Dynamics beat Sandbox after this 2-0, Dynamics go from fifth to third. And T1 and Gen G are going to be fighting for fourth place.
Is that because they've played more games, or is it just straight up because they've won more games?
It's because they've won more games. Currently, T1 and Gen G are both on 4 and 2, and Dynamics are sitting on 3 and 2. And Dynamics have a positive 2 points as far as their point score, and Gen G and T1 only sitting on 3. So
if they win 2-0,
it's either a three-way tie for third, or it's Dynamics just clearly in third place with an extra point. So just crazy to think that Team Dynamics, a team that only just promoted after the spring season, is now going to look to get ahead of our two teams that were in the finals of spring, and also two of our most storied organizations in the LCK in its history ever. It's nutty. The only two teams that have had multiple world championships, right? Like, if you date it back to Samsung White, Samsung Galaxy in 2017 then afterwards, and SKT needs no introduction now, T1, but they've got a bit of a trophy case when it comes to those
little bit. Yeah.
Those accolades. Team Dynamics, on the other hand, not much at all.
Yeah, they don't have anything just yet. They have made it into the LCK, and they have made a bit of a splash. I think a lot of people look at that team and see the potential. They're definitely looking quite good, even though they did kind of get spanked by DRX the last time out. But can you blame them?
I mean everyone
DRX
has.
is
Let's be
incredible right now.
That is very true. But here we are. Lava has put his computer back together. That's fantastic. As Nuguri versus Dudu here towards the top side. I'm interested to see how Dudu is going to be able to utilize the early game power of this Renekton. Not going to have nearly as much value as the later game does turn up. Nuguri getting into the backline, cycloning around, and disrupting everyone is going to be very difficult to deal with. But you can see what Hanwha Life's comp is supposed to do. They're supposed to rely on Renekton and Lee Sin to stabilize the early stage of the game, and then Viper is going to take over in the later stages. And Lehends and CAD, their job then will be to make sure that Viper has enough space to kill everyone. DAMWON's comp is sculpted to stop that from happening.
It's like, and they're playing the exact counter. Anyway, into the game. But it's true. It is true what you are saying. I wanted to talk a little bit about the penalty that we had.
Yes, please
in hockey, you go to the penalty box when you get a penalty. Another name for the penalty box is the sin bin. And Hanwha Life are absolutely in the sin bin tonight with Lee Sin and Renekton as well in the top side. So very interesting that they go for the penalty play early on in the game.
They drafted the sin bin, they put themselves in.
Nice. Good strategy. Yeah.
Like it a lot. Lehends, this is his win-loss on the Shen. I believe it was him and Joker that really liked playing Shen support, even outside of it being in meta. But Lehends was definitely very successful on this particular champion. And does like to get around the map and taunt people up and take control. And then stand united back to Viper if he gets into any trouble. Having a look at these stats, look at Ghost. That is some 10th places. It's exceptional, isn't it?
Yeah, it's extraordinary. And you were talking about this actually before we did get started on the broadcast. It shows Ghost's role in the team. You know, he's not the one taking all the CS between 15 and 30 minutes. He's not getting all the gold and the damage. He's more of like a supportive AD carry, which is not something we see too often in professional play, whereas Viper is the exact opposite. They need him to carry. Otherwise, I mean, they're just, you know, dead before the game even starts.
It's the perfect example of opposing strategies for both of these teams. I think Hanwha Life's is the most common, like we were talking about, but I think DAMWON's is the most fun, because then you get to see Nuguri and ShowMaker popping off.
And BeryL.
And BeryL. Yeah, that's exactly right. And actually, he's a legitimate carry on his Pantheon. We've seen this happen before. He's done more damage at the end of games than Ghost.
Yeah.
He's done more damage, and that's not a bad thing about Ghost. Like, I think he outdamaged Nuguri in half of those Pantheon games. He's a very impressive damage threat when it comes to his Pantheon. So we'll see whether, you know, Ghost is going to be a good support for BeryL this game.
True. Support Ezreal coming to a solo queue near you.
He was already there.
Oh, might have some action.
Ooh, yeah, Nuguri might be going down to the 0-1 power spike pretty early. Does have the decoy to kind of try and mess with them.
Oh,
the Q is going to miss. And now Dudu underneath the turret. I think he's going to... Oh, no. Does have the flash. Gets himself out. And Nuguri's just going to teleport back up here. Dudu's going to go back and do the same.
That was actually really nicely set up by Hanwha Life and the top laner of Dudu, because he put the slow push on to eventually get so many minions to the point where they had a lot of buffer for going for the dive. He also got him very low, making those trades, forcing the trades for Nuguri, who, as we know, is never going to back down from a trade. And that is a very good start here for Hanwha Life, just playing to the lanes and their composition. And we'll see if they can kind of catapult off of that.
Well, vision here for DAMWON on the bottom side of the map. They spot the cat is down there. We'll give Nuguri a little bit of extra space. As not too much of a big deal. Dying underneath that turret, was able to get back as quickly as he possibly could. And now has flash advantage. And we'll see whether Canyon is going to head topside to see whether he can help out. As you can see, though, they've got Scuttle Vision, they've got a Control Ward, and they have a very deep ward into that Tri-Brush.
Oh.
ShowMaker, best player.
He's so good at Zoe.
Oh, he's so good at Zoe, man. His redemption count is just insane.
I feel like he gets it every game, actually.
Yeah, you need it level 4, otherwise you're a bad Zoe player.
It's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, great job by him.
straight up skills. I'll give you the ShowMaker solo queue update.
Yes.
He is currently still rank 1. He has moved his second account back to rank 4 though, but there is still good news. ShowMaker's main account is now close to 200 LP ahead of second place.
It's pretty good.
Pretty nutty.
나이스.
It's like you should flash, nice. And yeah, I mean, Nuguri didn't flash, which was kind of interesting. I guess he supposed that his best chance was to try to burst down the Renekton under the turret, because he could have just been follow flash down the lane and probably would have died anyway, outside of turret range. So as you mentioned before, he gets that flash advantage, which he can use to set up plays in the future onto this Renekton, especially with the Trundle pillar. The Renekton could have a lot of trouble. And the bottom lane hasn't seen a lot of action, but still there is a healthy lead here. Of course, the lane is pushing, but it should be around, 8 to 10 CS. That Ghost is ahead of Viper right now.
Yeah, it feels like Viper's back timing did not work out for him whatsoever. You saw Ghost and BeryL just holding that wave exactly where they wanted it to. Lehends did manage to get experience for the cannon minion, but I'm not even sure whether Viper was in range for that. He may have been. It was pretty close one way or the other, but there's the taunt onto BeryL, who is going to negate a fair bit of that damage. The Ignite is in, and Cad moves down towards the bottom side canyon. A little bit further away, though, as Cad decides that he wants to try and fight this one. Flashes forward, but he's just going to die as Ghost should have the auto, as BeryL, in fact, is able to turn around and put a spear in him, but Lava comes through with a big Mantra Inspire, but ShowMaker's just going to come in and pick up a couple of kills. Bubble's going to land onto one. The Ignite's going to be there. Lava should be falling, but Lehends, he's going to be taken down first. ShowMaker unable to take down Lava there, but still a bit of a landslide for DWG Gaming.
Yeah, the troll minions there at the end blocking that for ShowMaker. Absolutely would have had the kill if the timing on the minion wave was different. And it's not only going to be the big win in the in the fight that we just had, but also there's a massive wave of minions here that is going totally missed by Viper. There's going to be 2 plates that are single-handedly handed over.
These minions might hurt Cad, but the kick comes back and the red buff is going to be able to take him down. Actually, it might have just been the smite. Okay, Cad just kills him. I thought the Ghost, had an idea, but he didn't really. The Arcane Shift was held for so damn long.
He just never expected that Q to hit him within the minions.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, there's a Cyclone from Nuguri. Wants to try and grab Dudu here, as BeryL's going to turn up to the top lane. As, yep, that's the sun, and that is a very, very dead Renekton. ShowMaker was there for fun, cheerleader. He's going to be able to help out with Shelly here, as it sort of looks like Hanwha are getting trades here, but you can see we're almost towards the 2,000 gold lead. Good job.
They're going to be able to get a little bit of damage done here, and they do pick up the Mountain Drake at least. So there are some small things that they are picking up. The Rift Herald's going to be picked up here for Canyon as well. And it looks like 2 turret plates and a half here. It's going to be the number, and they're staying very long under this turret.
Hens is super squishy. He's got lucidity boots that he's rushed.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's all he's got.
He's got some sweet Nikes. He should have probably bought a shirt,
At least one.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to dump, I know people love sneakers and stuff, but you don't want to dump all of your money into just one pair, right?
And it looks a little bit silly if you're wearing a plastic bag on the top side and then really expensive shoes.
Yeah, or nothing.
Yeah, or
no shirt.
That'll get you arrested.
Not a good style. Still no. Well, Flash is up actually.
Canyon just moves on over. Oh, the pillar is a bit of a yikes. Is Subjugate now on cooldown. Dudu very low. Nuguri didn't have his Cyclone available, so it was going to be a difficult one there as ShowMaker misses an uncharacteristic paddle stun. We're going to have a look at this fight once again.
Yeah, and you can see that Viper and Lehends, they have so much lockdown, but Pantheon just presses E and laughs at them. So he survives the majority of the damage from the duo, and then Cad kind of overestimates his ability to get in there and execute one person. And Lava's here first with the TP because ShowMaker doesn't have TP, but because ShowMaker was already on the roam, reading the play, he's able to get here and have a much bigger impact. And you can see the timing and the placement of the minion kind of trolls him there. And also, take a look at this Q.
Oh, wow. I mean, he was actually in front of the creep, but yeah, it's very odd. As Cat just does it again. Okay, just going to take down ShowMaker there in the mid lane. Nuguri looking to try and fight this one back. Lava doesn't have flash. Nuguri does have his, but I don't know whether we're going to be diving this turret. As Nuguri already down to about half. There's the Cyclone. We'll have the next one as Cad lands yet another Q. The flash forward stands united though as Nuguri should be going down. It's one Q from Lava, but Lehends is going to be in there. Nuguri steals it away though, and now Lava with the extra range gets snagged by the Q, but it's not going to be enough. But a 1-for-1 is not what should have happened there.
Yeah. Lots of kills in the mid lane going down there. I want to see how that initial gank happened and how ShowMaker did go down, because he wasn't really able to do anything in that one. Canyon, after helping out in the mid lane, is going to come down here and throw down the Rift Herald and get Ghost further ahead. Gonna trade some of that gold. And because Wukong had to roam down to the mid lane, Renekton here, Dudu is actually getting a lot done. So you can see that Lava kind of beats him, actually.
Oh yeah, straight up.
Sticking around and then just heals into space. And with no flash, it's about the easiest kill in the world. And then ShowMaker puts on a little bit of a show. Or not ShowMaker, Nuguri. And just, I suppose, fools them at the end. It's almost like they forgot about Stand United. It's been a while since they played against it.
Sidestep.
Yeah, Nuguri's pretty good at that. We've seen that before. He's pretty insane with his mechanics. I'm sure LS would watch the mouse movement and nod his head yes in approval.
Definitely. Actually, really cool that he didn't queue up his, didn't line up his Q to hit Cad, and instead wanted to try and get the double kill, utilizing it against Lava, understanding that the Sheen proc was going to be enough damage. Little things, but definitely very heads up in the moment from Nuguri. Still, he's down by about 500 gold. Otherwise, elsewhere on the map, DAMWON do have advantages. And Ghost is just, he must be so happy that the rest of his team draws so much attention, and he can basically just do what he wants for the majority of the time.
Outside of the one oopsie where he got queued in the middle of the minions, in front of the minions, he has been doing quite well.
Yeah, not great news, as that pillar is extraordinarily high value. Lehends possibly going to get stunned up here, but the kickback is going to be super high value from Cad. This is probably Cad's best performance by a country mile here in this game. He's really keeping Hanwha in it as Canyon. All right, he's going to try and run out of the way of this one. Not even going to get snared. That's why you take the river walking.
Yeah, river walking. I think he threw down his W2 maybe. Didn't really see. But either way, he's a lot faster right now than the Karma with tier 1 boots. And Ghost somehow managed to hit his True Shot barrage through the middle of 3 members that were tightly grouped up.
Yeah.
I don't know how he managed that, but that was really impressive.
Yeah, that's it's called a field goal, I think.
Yeah.
That's how they talk about it in the footballs.
Yes. In the sports ball.
Yeah, real world sport.
Yeah.
ShowMaker looking for the bubble. Oh, finds it. It's a fadeaway right there. Is BeryL gonna land a lot of... What the heck?
All right.
This just looked really painful. As Blazer Rune King from Dudu does come out, but I think it was onto the decoy. No issue there. By the way, the blue Ezreal with the Death Dance is extraordinarily high value this game. As you mentioned, it is only Karma that's doing magic damage. And this is the Ezreal build that can reach levels to the tune of about 300 armor. Not going to this game, as we've got a Cloud Soul instead of a Mountain Soul, but he'll get pretty close to 200 after that build has been complete, especially if he decides to lock down something like a Guardian Angel, which will be very high value. Could just be the tank of the team, honestly.
Lehends, he's getting bloodthirsty, and, well,
Okay.
I don't know.
He might be dead. No. He's going to faint over the wall, and we'll be absolutely fine.
He didn't lose his life, but he lost his dignity after that play. Yeah. Very unfortunate that he got it down to 7 health. Oh, nearly died there.
Oh, Shirley deciding to spank BeryL a little bit there as Nuguri.
Oh!
Turret, Dudu does have the Dominus to keep him alive. Lava was coming down as well, so not going to be dying just yet, or needing a flash or anything. Nuguri not going to be bullied at this point in time. He is going to be behind 24 CS, so Dudu is 100% winning this lane. At Lee Sin and Renekton winning. Oh. Can we go back? Can we go back there, Jonas? Okay. That's why we didn't want to look at that.
Yeah.
Rude from ShowMaker. It's Ludens at the moment.
I thought maybe they were going to try to challenge that, but I think intelligently they will not. They're just going to give that one away. It's not going to be too high value as the second Rift Herald here. Might look to throw it down mid. I mean, ShowMaker has already done a nice job taking out 2 blades as well.
There's the feint. BeryL is going to be able to mitigate a lot of this damage. Viper does have a lot, and he is going to be able to take down the Pantheon. Shen and Severum pretty good. As now Dudu turns up top lane.
Why did he TP?
Can I have an easier question?
Well. Oh, he's going for the kill? Okay.
That was blind. P.S. Lehends is dead. What is happening, Valdez?
I don't know. Take it away.
There's
I'm
a
scared.
flash forward. Canyon, he's waiting for another pillar. I don't think he'll have it, but I don't know whether they need it. ShowMaker pops over that wall, and maybe just the troll's going to be dead. Kolomik gives Dudu back a whole bunch of his health. But Nuguri's going to come in and try and quell this insanity that's been ensuing. And he's going to take down the Lee Sin very comfortably. Nimbus Strike gets him on top of Viper, but Viper does have his Calibrum now armed. Dudu now finds a face-checking monkey, and the Cyclone does come down. Dudu will be dead as Ghost is looking for another one onto Viper. That was a very nice sidestep as the Q is going to proc onto Viper. Another nice sidestep. He's got the fancy feet. It doesn't matter, but he does. And that we need to report on. But that is just a very chaotic skirmish that is once again going to be won by DWG.
Yeah, they're able to hand the kill over to the Zoe too. Very well deserved. Great Zoe is ShowMaker as we identified earlier on. By the way, Lehends might be dead again.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have said might.
Yeah.
It was very obvious.
Oh, they took a... yeah, that was... Oh.
I want to take that might back.
It's
Actually,
a bit hard to watch.
Yeah.
It was sort of like staggering the backs there a little bit as well, letting him have a false sense of security underneath that turret. So yeah, this is certainly looking like what we were expecting out of DAMWON versus Hanwha Live. Hanwha have been struggling more than I was expecting in this season, to be honest. I thought that the addition of Viper was going to make them look a lot better, but momentum is such a big deal, and that was just straight up an unforced error coming out from Lehends. As Dudu, like this is, we're getting to see the point where Renekton does just not enough.
Yeah, he's kind of just running away the entire time, and it all got started after that unforced error into the turret. I think even if Trundle's not there, he probably might die anyway. As BeryL actually came to the fight very long down the way. I think he could have just, you know, ulted into the lane, but he took it a little bit slower. Didn't end up mattering too much, as we're going to take a look at this kill. So he gets the initial one, and then he perfectly lands it, predicts exactly where he's going to be, sees the seashell.
야 올라올게 올라올게. 야 카라만 잡았어.
He's like, I got him, I'll go top. Let's go top. So immediately looking around the map.
And as you saw, they did go top. As there's the Cyclone into the decoy there is Canyon. Oh, that's a nice pillar that time around, but Lava's going to turn up and going to deny the kill onto Dudu. ShowMaker has his Super Soaker. He's looking for a pool party. But not going to take it out of its holster just yet. There we go. Finally going to use it onto Viper, but Viper does need to be respected a little bit more than that, ShowMaker. Does do a lot of damage here with his Infernum Caliber.
Yeah. And you were talking about the effectiveness of Renekton. I suppose he got that first blood, but after that, everybody's building armor. We might have a fight here again.
Yeah, not entirely sure what Nuguri is doing there, but he is going to survive somehow. Yeah, interesting. Ghost now feeling very comfortable, able to walk up as this minion wave is just dying. Hanwha Life losing a lot of money there towards the top side. So as they mill about this Drake that's not spawning for another 4.5 minutes, they're losing kills worth of damage. They're losing flashes, and this positioning on the map is just unnecessary, right? Dudu's going to get towards the top lane as it starts pushing back out again. Yeah, he didn't even get any of that experience. That was a macro disaster.
Yeah, it's very true. And you remember when we... Yeah. And he's just going to throw him the thumbs up. He's like, yeah, I know you're going to root too. Like, I've played against Aphelios before a couple times.
And he gets towards the top lane so that he can be caught out of position. The rest of Hanwha are going to move over.
It's just non-stop action. Kill. Can't talk about anything.
All right, well,
okay. You remember when we had... oh, they actually might go on to Dudu here.
Yep, there's the flash forward. Dudu going to flash in respect. That was counterfeit, so of course ShowMaker not going to be too worried about it. True Shot Barrage just kills the Crocodile. He's a handbag now. As Lava might just be dead. Canyon looking for yet another pillar, and Lava, he's just a sitting duck. This is so scary. But BeryL jumps out of the brush, and maybe it's Cad that should be the most scared, as Paddlestar is going to rip through him. Viper still needs to be respected, gets a sentry turret out. He's still an Aphelios. The DAMWON aren't playing like there's an Aphelios that exists on the map.
Yeah. You know, their comp is so good against it. The hard dive or the outranging, and they have both of it. They have the champions that work really well together. I mean, Ezreal and Zoe are just set up so well by all the CC that the rest of their members do have. And you remember we were talking about the magic damage from the Karma that's not really existing too much. They're just all building so much armor, and they're negating the Aphelios damage on top of it. So it's like the opposite. You remember when we used to have Karthus every game. You don't want to have another AP threat.
Right, yeah.
Because you don't want people to build magic or MR so that Karthus could eventually do some crazy damage in the late game. They did the exact opposite. They made Aphelios less effective as the game goes on, as everybody and their, every single person, except I suppose ShowMaker, who may eventually get his Zhonya's here, has armor and is stacking.
Well, DAMWON are going to utilize some of that armor to try and fight Hanwha Life here. Lava, of course, going to be doing magic damage, so I guess that analogy doesn't make sense. So ShowMaker's going to miss that bubble, Lehends going to lose his life, and Cad decides that he wants out of this game. Let's be honest, it take a little bit of a while here, but eventually the kill is given over to Nuguri with that crushing blow. And speaking of crushing blows, this Baron is going to be taken by DAMWON.
What are they doing down there together?
I think Viper is walking his crocodile.
Viper's like, I'm no longer friends with Lehends. Now Renekton is my best friend.
Yeah. Cad doesn't have any friends. Although he is able to take down the Pantheon. So there's that. Dudu and Viper will be able to take this inner turret. So this game is messy, to say the least. I don't think they're going to deter DAMWON from taking this Baron. Inner turret's still going to be taken, I think, on the top side of the map from Nuguri. And Hanwha are not going to be able to win a race against a Baron either. So, yeah. I mean, sometimes you have to throw some Hail Marys. This game is
야 이거 못
as far from clean as you can get.
앞에 저기 있는데? 말이 돼? 말이 돼?
I think he's saying like Aphelios has flash.
말이 돼? 말이 돼? 말이 되는 거야. 아니.
He's saying over and over, does this make sense? Does this make sense?
야 여기 카르마.
Does this make sense? Is this possible?
말이 돼?
He says it again.
Get it.
So basically, ShowMaker is exactly the same as us. Is that what you're saying?
Pretty much, yeah. He's very aware.
All right. So for next week's matches, maybe tomorrow or something like that, we can have ShowMaker on the show. He seems like a natural. As BeryL's just gonna die there. Cad's still playing decently Sin, but unfortunately, the rest of the game has fallen apart around him. His mechanics are really clean, though.
Yeah, that is something we do have to give to Cad. He plays mostly Trundle. They're going to exchange emotes here as Dudu was locked away from getting out. And outside of Trundle, he plays Lee Sin. So I suppose he is playing something he's very comfortable on.
Yep, sounds like an LCK jungler. Although I guess it's more of the Jarv and Olaf if we're going back to last season as Hanwha deciding when they want to start a fight. And it's not now, guys, because Viper just took his entire health bar in damage. Oh my god, goes to the raid boss. He does have all the items that he was looking for, and that True Shot Barrage even looks like he's built AP. This does so much damage.
Yeah.
Because, oh my god.
Well, they're going to put up a last stand here, but it wasn't pretty.
Nope, well, Cad's going to dive into the backline, does pick out one of them, but ShowMaker's immediately going to go golden, and Cad dies before I could even see what was happening there. Dudu now going to go down as Ghost picks up a really nice snipe, and Lehends is trying to taunt his way out, but it's not exactly going to work. And with Viper dead, this is going to be the end of the game, and honestly before that, I think it was over. DWG Gaming, yeah, 24 minutes into this one, they continue their extraordinary game win speed as they take down Hanwha.